Hey everybody, it's Chris over Dixieland Farm, and I've got a box from U-Turn Audio. It's my turntable. So, you may have seen in my last video, I was dealing with motor noise. I sent the company samples. They sent me a new spindle to handle the wobble that I had in the acrylic platter that I had bought, and I replaced all that. And they sent me a new motor when I explained to them that I was hearing motor noise, and they said you shouldn't have to hear motor noise. Here's a new motor. I installed that, and I let them know that, hey, I'm still hearing motor noise. They sent them along the file, and they're like, yeah, you shouldn't have to put up with that. Your turntable is out of warranty, which is true. I bought it in 2015. They said, maybe you'll pay for shipping. Send it back to us. And I said, okay, I'll send it back to you. By the way, I've had this problem in the past. Yeah, you worked on it. So they took the turntable. They said, yep, we heard something. We saw that the motor was having an issue. We replaced the motor. Everything passed the test. Sending it back to you. Did not hear anything about being charged. I have no idea if I'm being charged or not. I have not opened the box. I do not know what they consider fixed. We will discover together, huh? All right, let's go. A new day, a new shirt. So, hooked up the turntable, and what did I find? Well, it sounded the same to me. But I will say I'm very pleased with U-Turn. They didn't have to take back the turntable, but they did. And they replaced it, and they said they were going to charge me shipping and handling, which they didn't. So they replaced the motor a fifth time. They wanted to make sure I was satisfied. And as a small business owner, one of the most important things is not price. It is customer service. It is being able to get somebody on the phone when you need them. And U-Turn certainly did that. They, when they heard that I wasn't satisfied, they offered to take back the turntable. They worked on it. They sent it back. It is up to their levels of specs. So, it's got me thinking. Up to their level of specs. Am I expecting too much from a $300 to $500 turntable? Is my memory poor that older turntables didn't do any better than this? So, I've got a couple of vintage turntables. These are from the 80s. And got a Sansui, which is a direct drive. I do not use it anymore. And I've also got a JVC belt-driven table. Now, I didn't go through the trouble of swapping out carts and stuff like that. So, this isn't a perfect representation of, but this should be good enough. How do those tables do? So this is the belt drive, the JVC LA11. And let's see what the sound results are. And we have my original Sansui turntable, the FRD3. This is a direct drive. Let's see how it does. Okay, so how do we do? Well, looking at the belt table, we can see that most of the noise is anywhere between -48 and -54 dB, though we do have a spike at 60 hertz at -42 dB or -41 dB. Looking at the Sansui table, we can see that the noise floor is anywhere between -48 dB and -54 dB, and we've got a spike at 30 hertz around 44 dB, -44 dB, and we do have a buzz, and it's also at -42 dB. And we can see that fairly clearly. Interestingly, the noise is pretty consistent, though, the rumble. Okay, and when we look at the U-Turn table, we have a lot of subsonic noise between 10 and 20 hertz, which doesn't really register on the ear, really. So after we discount that, we actually have from -54 down to negative 66 dB. We do have a spike at 120 hertz at negative 54 dB, but we do actually have a better noise profile. That's only one sampling. When we look at a different sample that I have, this is probably a little more representational, but same thing. Some subsonic noise under 20 hertz that the ear just doesn't really pick up too well, and then it goes from negative 48 to as low as negative 63 dB. We actually have a lower noise floor. So when we compare turntables of a normal consumer manufacturer in the 80s and the U-Turn does a little better. So it's me, you know, it's years of listening to CDs that has done this to me. I'm expecting too much. And again, when you don't listen on the headphones, you don't notice this stuff. It's only when you listen on the headphones and the volume cranked up do you notice it. So I'm going to say we are now successfully concluded. The noise floor is normal. I still might make a external motor mount just for shiggles, but for the most part, I am now done and satisfied. I'm glad I did the test. I am very happy again with U-Turn for stepping up and working with me through all of this, which maybe ultimately me. They said they noticed a motor noise, that the motor was a problem, and they replaced it. So, fantastic customer service. Still standing by the turntable. From Dixieland Farm, everybody. Take care.